And here we are. 1, 2, 3.
Take five.
Take five.
Take
I thought
five.
it was 6.
Yes. Oh, well, we're getting up there. Welcome back, everybody, to our Loosey Goosey show on Air Radio News. Big Daddy Russ Horton, myself, Lee Lake, and Leah Lywood in the bathroom. Just updating, everybody. Breaking news. Yeah, she had to do the dash.
Yeah.
So just updating everybody on what's going on in the world today, national Canadian news, lots of things to talk about today, just a ton of stories today about Big Daddy.
Well, it's we certainly got snowed in, didn't we? This week in Ontario.
Yeah,
anyway.
here in Ontario we got pretty hammered. Actually, you know what? I think it pretty much went across Canada, and those cold temperatures they've been having out in the West Coast has just been
It's
no thanks.
Real out west.
We're getting some cold temperatures here in Ontario too, as we are dining at once again. Well, we're not dining because we're not allowed to dine in, but we are at the Appalachian, live on remote, however you want to call it.
The little room that rocks.
The little room that rocks in Halton Hills, Ontario. You can check out their menu online. You can also give them a call at 905-877-9888. They're at 68 Main Street North in Georgetown, and we're always glad to be here every Friday doing our show, man.
And if you live across Canada or around the world, when you come to Canada, drop by the Appalachian and drop into our Halton Hills, Ontario, because we are indeed Canada's hometown.
Yeah, and the little room that rocks that you see behind us, we've got stage all set up because we're
waiting for the end of the month when we can actually have live people up
we're
there playing guitars and drums and singing.
Making a lot of noise.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So we're looking forward to that. We're going to talk a little bit about that in the news, but again, want to thank you for tuning back in this week, and we'll try to catch you up on everything that's kind of going on this week. Big news, I think, is a couple of deaths today, I think, really.
Well, Meatloaf passed away, of course, and
72 or something.
He died from COVID.
Yeah, that's I didn't know that.
Shocker.
I didn't know that until Manny said it, so I had no idea.
It was a bit of a shocker this morning when I went to write the news, and I went and I as I do every morning, I look through all the stories, and that was there. I didn't expect Meatloaf.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even know he was sick, as a matter of fact.
No, I didn't either. And when I'd heard about it, it was still undisclosed what it was.
Another thing about Meatloaf is there's another death, too.
Yeah, we've got stand-up comedian. He did a bunch of TV sitcoms as well. Louis Anderson, dead at 68. Guy. Funny guy. Loved watching his stand-up comedy routines. Had that kind of nasally, whiny voice, but he was funny. He was a really funny guy.
But there are reports that Betty White is alive. She's been seen eating cheeseburgers with Elvis, and
wasn't it fried banana or fried peanut butter?
When you Googled Betty White's name last week, it came up. I don't know how they did it. It came up. It just lit up the screen, and you got one of those sound effects.
Okay.
So Google set up her name, where if you Googled it and hit it would just light up your computer screen.
You spend a lot
with
of
Betty
time
White.
on Google. That's how we bring you the stories each week. We also want to say a little belated happy birthday to our own very Leah Lywood.
Leah Lywood's birthday this week.
Just passed by us a couple of days ago, so big happy birthday to her.
All right, let's get into these news stories.
Yeah.
I guess a new poll has found that almost 60% of Canadians are having a hard time providing enough food for their families, basically.
Shock.
The poll from the Angus Reid Institute put out Friday shows that 57% of Canadians reported having a difficult time feeding their families.
Yeah.
And that's way up from 2019 when the same people were asked the same question. Inflation plays a role, I guess, but
there's been a lot of that too. It kills me that everybody complains about stuff, and the one thing that we all use a lot of, especially lately in the wintertime, running the car to keep it warm and whatever. But fuel prices have gone stupid through the roof for no reason at all. Mm-hmm. We have an excess. They have a massive excess of fuel everywhere in the world, and we're paying these stupid prices. And people, it kills me. You see all these people that go on Bitch Book. And they complain about everything out there, but you never hear anybody complaining about the fuel prices and how much we're spending on fuel. And so if we're spending that on fuel, trucking costs are going up, so food's going to go up. cause
There will be in the
yeah,
coming
cause and
future.
effect, and yeah, we've got that story too out
And
there.
as Ontario goes, so does the rest of the country, like
Sure.
you're going to tell us here.
Absolutely.
They're finally lifting.
Yeah, yeah, they're going to look to reopen and increase gathering limits on January 31st. Portion of a 3-step plan. Here we go back into our little step plans again.
This is Ontario, by the way.
Yes, this is Ontario. Premier Ford was mentioning this 3-step plan to move away from COVID-19 restrictions all throughout the province. We can be confident that the worst is behind us as we look cautiously and ease public health measures, Premier Ford mentioned on Thursday, and we're now in a position to cautiously and gradually ease public health measures. Was that out loud? Beginning January 31st, social gathering limits will increase to 10 people indoors and 25 people outdoors, the province stated on Thursday. So
You need a scorecard to keep up with all this.
oh, this is just crazy, man. But it looks like we can at least get back to some indoor dining at a 50% capacity rate. I think they're talking. But they could change that on us again. Who knows?
Well, the new variant is topped out. It's the numbers are going down a little bit, but what's coming behind it? That's what people are worried about. We don't know. We're expecting, to get up one day, and there's a new variant.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I'm just waiting for that
There
one.
is one right now. It's
Is
just,
it?
you're not hearing a lot
But
about it yet.
here comes Captain COVID.
Yeah.
The new variant.
We gotta get capes, man. We gotta get shirts done with that Captain COVID.
Captain COVID.
I'll talk to JV next week.
Yeah. Let's see what we can.
And he
make
already
up,
has a logo.
I
that
bet you
round
we'd, I
thing.
bet you we'd sell a ton of them.
Yeah, we could, yeah. Along with our Acton dinner jackets,
Exactly.
of course. All right, Canada has enough supply, according to our fearless leader, Prime Minister, to give booster doses to all who are eligible. This is coming right from the top. But so far, only about 35% have got their boosters. I haven't got mine yet, but I'm getting mine in the next week or so. We must continue to accelerate our vaccination efforts to trend towards universal coverage, Health Minister Jean-Yves Duclos mentioned on Wednesday, standing next to the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister said the same thing, but he said it in French.
Oh.
So I'm not going to repeat what he said because
No.
I'm not French. But
That would be interesting. Though.
yeah.
I'd like to see that.
yeah, but so he's saying, let's get our boosters.
Yeah.
It's the cattle prod from the top.
Or big breaking news, how they come out with this story as a breaking news story. It's like, yeah, we know. You guys have been babbling about the same thing for weeks now.
Yeah.
So,
But there's a little bit of a slow move to getting the booster.
it's funny, yeah. You're not seeing a ton of people rushing out to do it. People
I'm going
are
to do
doing
it, but
but
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm seeing what's going on here. I am going to get one, but people are a little bit slower on the take-up of this, and people are starting to scratch their heads now. How many more boosters are we going to get?
Every 6 months we need a booster shot. This was really cool. I saw this the other day. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I saw this.
Wasn't cool for the people living around
No,
there.
definitely not cool for the people living near it because of the tsunami it created. An enormous undersea volcano erupted off the coast of Tonga on Saturday. Photos and video taken across the Pacific have captured the aftermath from the eruption, as well as the tsunami that it did create. Talk about Google. If you Google this eruption, they have it off a satellite.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
You can see it right
it's
from
incredible.
right from
Google
space.
Google this thing. It is incredible to watch this thing. Unfortunately, yes, people were, it wasn't a happy thing.
No.
But to watch this thing is spectacular. The phenomenon prompted authorities worldwide to put out tsunami warnings and advisories as far away as British Columbia and Alaska, where the sonic boom could even be heard.
Can you
That's
imagine that? How many thousand miles
Crazy.
away is that? And you can hear a sonic boom.
Like I was saying, images captured on the ground in Pacific coastal communities have shown the effects of the eruption from massive mushroom cloud plumes of ash that it produced to the infrastructure and damage that was created by the tsunami waves and flooding. So just absolutely incredible. Mother Earth is just...
Mother Earth's getting a little pissed off with us.
I think so. She's
And,
really... because that was just insane. And like you say, like they said, the after effects from the tsunamis and the flooding and stuff was just powerful.
I watched a video of Tonga on the beach, and they were filming it. They thought it was funny, and they didn't think it was so funny at the end of the video.
No.
No. You heard the sonic boom on
Yeah.
this video, and the guy just said, my ears, my ears. I guess it popped. You must
Oh, it
do
would.
something to your
Absolutely,
ears.
it would.
Because, I mean, you're messing with a higher level of...
The amount of pressure that would be.
of physics there.
Yep, physics. Good word for it. Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, that's a loud boom.
Yeah, definitely.
But of course, it created high waves, tsunamis, and they had problems in Australia, Alaska,
Yeah.
BC,
And the fact,
the
too,
American coast,
that
the
they
West
even had volcanic dust still as well, because it was underwater.
Yeah.
This was all underwater.
This is all
that this
underwater,
happened.
folks.
Yeah. And the fact that it went that high and it was that powerful to create even ash on top of it.
Well, when Mother Earth farts, we all
Crazy
listen,
stuff,
I guess.
man.
Yeah,
Crazy
there you go.
stuff. My hair's still standing up funny.
One more story about COVID and we'll get off of it. Health Canada given the go-ahead for the use of Pfizer's COVID-19 antiviral treatment. It's called Paxlovid.
Who comes up with these
I have
names?
no idea. The first oral and at-home prescription medication to be used in this country, as a matter of fact. Federal Health Agency mentions the prescription-only medication can be given to adults ages 18 and up. So you need a prescription for this. The authorization comes with specific instructions on scenarios in
We
which
interrupt this broadcast.
it cannot be.
Yeah, breaking news.
Oh, French fries.
Food.
Oh,
Thanks, pal.
French
Appreciate it.
fries. Oh, thank you, Manny.
Sorry,
That's the owner of
continue.
it. That's okay. He's got his fries. They're
Yummy.
yours, not mine. Okay.
They smell so good.
The authorization comes with specific instructions on scenarios in which it cannot be used, including to prevent COVID-19 infections or treat patients who are already...
They get that oozing sound.
That sounded like a fart to me. All right. Shake that tomato.
That doesn't get much more loosey-goosey than this.
Now, how come Kathy Ronaldo never has French fries when she's doing the CTV News? I want to know.
We're
You
about to find out.
That's right.
Absolutely.
We've just set a precedent, folks.
Yep.
We are reading Appalachian. Well, he
Very
is. I'm
good.
not, because he hasn't offered me one yet. We are reading Appalachian French fries, live coast to coast across the world.
Try one,
No,
right,
it's
for
all
one.
right. That's all right. You can have it. It's all right.
Yum.
Love their
But
fries.
Well, speaking of food,
they're fresh cut fries, man.
those are great, man.
That's the granddaddy of French fries.
Joys
right
of
there.
being diabetic. Yay.
All right.
Grocery stores are wrestling with rising labor and product shortages that experts say could threaten Canada's food security. Gary Sands, Senior Vice President of Public Policy with the Canadian Federation of Independent Grocers, mentioned employee absenteeism because of COVID-19 protocols has hit about 30% across Canada and still rising. Without access to rapid testing in many provinces, he mentions workers are repeatedly forced to isolate for 7 days or more after an exposure to COVID-19. So, yeah, I hadn't really thought about the absentee end of it.
Well, yeah, I
You know,
mean,
I
they're
hadn't
putting
really
all these
cl-
barriers up
Yeah,
there, and
yeah, I hadn't really clicked that into my brain though. That was
it's getting harder for people who run these operations to run them because they don't have the people to put out to work.
manpower. Yeah.
Exactly. And the food prices are going to go up. They
Well,
already have.
The shelves right now in the grocery stores, I've been in a few times in the last,
Yeah.
some of them are like empty.
Yeah. I've been trying to get my Hellman's mayonnaise for a week now, and they finally had it in.
Well, there's also the irrationalness of people
Uh,
that are freaking out and they're in there doing what they do with
and-
toilet paper.
I can't figure
Bulk
that
buying.
I can't figure that toilet paper stuff out. What is? Never mind. I'm not getting into that. We already talked about that a couple of years ago. Toilet paper. That's not the first thing I'm going to think of.
No.
Food.
Not something
might
you want to
be.
be without though either.
Well, that too. Like, it's sure,
But
I get
still,
that,
I
but-
mean, I don't understand. A major calamity happens in the world, and everybody thinks I have to go and get some toilet paper. Like, why?
wasn't that what the bath mat's for?
Yeah. Anyway,
You
well,
run out?
your fries. Let's go over the Meatloaf thing. Meatloaf, of course, heavyweight rock star, adored by millions.
Oh, God.
Bad Out of Hell LP was a classic. We all
One
heard
of
it
the
in
highest
basement.
grossing selling albums out.
That's right. And the thing I loved about Meatloaf, he was not only a great rock and roll singer and a great musician, he was a great, he used to, he just...
Very humble.
But he made them so dramatic.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, he was also an actor as well. On stage, he was incredible. Everyone
he
knows.
He put on a show.
Everyone knows the words to that 8-minute song. "Paradise by the Dashboard Light."
Yeah.
You know, he had other songs, but that's the one. That's the one you remember. And
How many people lost their virginity to that song?
well, he was born Marvin Leah Day. He died Thursday, according to a family post provided by his longtime agent, Michael Green. Our hearts are broken to announce that the incomparable Meatloaf passed away tonight, the statement stated. We know how much he meant to many of you, and we truly appreciate all of the love and support as we move through this time of grief, losing such an inspiring artist and beautiful man. From his heart to your souls, don't ever stop rocking, was his
Right on.
message when he died. That's what he said. So,
Peace, Meatloaf.
you know,
Me.
one hell of a
We're on-
party up in heaven is all
We're
I
on
can
first
say.
name. We're on first name basis. I just call him me.
Yeah, just call him.
Just
me.
call him me.
But he was such an incredible musician.
Yeah, I saw interviews with him too, and he was a very humble guy.
Yeah, he
you
was. He was a
know.
regular guy. A regular
And
guy.
he just, I don't know, it just, when I was in high school, I hated that album.
Did
Because
you?
it just got so much airplay. It was so overplayed and overplayed. But as I'm, over the years,
You get older, you look at it differently.
I pull it out every once in a while, play all the tracks, play them all. You know?
Well, Jim Steinman did a lot of work with him. Worked with him a lot. The two of them together were just genius. But there's another one gone. There's another one gone. All right.
Yeah,
let's go on.
it's unfortunately now, my mom said it years ago. She goes, now I start going to more funerals than I do weddings.
That's right. That's right. That's when you know you're getting older.
Exactly.
And it's funny how when a year starts, all the deaths seem to clump together at the beginning, don't they? 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, always in January. We always get the January deaths, and yeah, that's what Leah was telling us earlier. All right, what's next up?
Economists are stating that supply chain distributions and shift in consumer behavior are adding to keeping inflations at elevated levels in Canada. Canada's inflation rate reached 4.8% on a year-over-year basis in December, an increase from 4.7% posted in November of last year, according to data released Wednesday by Stats Canada. The inflation rate is at the highest the country has seen since 1991.
We're in bad shape. Right?
Bad shape. To
We're in
put
bad
things
shape.
in simpler terms, the Bank of Canada aims to keep inflation at the 2% midpoint of an inflation control target of 1 to 3%. So, yeah, we're all seeing it. We all know it's if you're not seeing it, you need to crawl out from that rock you've been hiding under. And again, we're going to see it with everything we purchase.
And the changes are they're just beginning. I mean, all of this stuff is going to roll into, as I said before, the variant is dying down now, the new one. But what happens when another variant shows up? And apparently, according to Leah, she says there is a new variant out there. It's called Bob, as a matter of fact. And
Yeah,
Fred is right behind him.
We're just giving it a name.
We'll call it Bob, the new one.
Yeah.
But
Well, they do it with the hurricanes and stuff.
how are we
right?
doing for time? I forgot to turn the timer on.
Deltacron.
What's the time there? Deltacron.
18 and a half.
18 and a half minutes in, so we're a little over halfway. Yeah.
I was gonna
Yeah.
go, and I thought,
Yeah.
no, and I thought, I don't think.
Yeah,
you
because
turned it
I
on.
didn't turn it on. I just looked at it, and I didn't know how much.
It's my-
All right,
it's my
what
fault.
Of course, the weather in Canada in January is cold and snowy, and but we got blasted this week, and old school storm, that one.
Yeah, I'd say.
Usually we get 2 to 5 to 10 centimeters. We got 42 in Hall Hills because I measured it. The snowdrift outside our place, 42 centimeters. I don't know what it was anywhere else, but it was 42 outside my door.
Well, where I was, for me to walk out the door, through the walkway, it was over my boots, which are up almost to my knees, and the snow was going in my boots.
Yeah.
Citation idea.
Residents across parts of Ontario and Quebec recovering from a winter blast that could take days to clean up. We're still cleaning up on the Friday here. And after leaving drivers in schools, the drivers were stranded on the 401.
That was a crazy shit show. That was.
You know, I mean, they didn't get to they couldn't. They didn't have the manpower to get to everything within a 24-hour period. So the schools in Ontario were closed for 2 days.
Yeah. Many of them. There were some that were open, but.
But Ottawa, they got 60 or something.
When I lived in Ottawa, we used to always get rocked, man.
Yeah. But it's one of those old. Do you remember? I remember one storm when I was a kid of sliding. My bedroom was on the second floor. I remember I actually slid down the snow pile out of my window, walked on it. I was 9, and I slid down. Do you remember days like that?
Oh God, yeah.
This storm was nowhere near that. But it was
we used to do the stupidest thing, and kids don't do this, but we used to, bumper hitch on the back of the school bus.
Oh yeah. That's that.
Until I finally one day, no true story. We were on Mill Street in Acton, and a guy was on the back, and the boots he was wearing hit the manhole cover. He lost all the chiclets, man. Broke every tooth in his mouth. Just slammed. I stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, you'd need some insurance for that.
Oh, dude, that was. But
I think the most I ever did was walk off the snowbanks onto my parents' bungalow.
Yeah.
But that was in Cornwall, and that was a regular event. We'd be shut down for 3 days at a time, and the only people out on the roads were if you had a snowmobile.
Yeah. When I lived in Ottawa, we'd get rocked like that. So.
Western Canada's been cold, of course, this week, as always, because it's January in Canada. I remember reporting the weather last week, and Dawson City had a high of minus 48 Celsius in the shade. And
That's when your nostrils freeze together.
That's right. They were wearing their flip-flops up in the Yukon. But it's cold, it's January, and it's, but we did get a good old-fashioned winter storm in Ontario and Quebec.
I thought it looked beautiful.
Yeah, when you're not driving in it, it's wonderful. All right. Now, there's problems. I'll tell you a story about Putin after you tell this story.
Because many people around the world are watching this story go on right now.
Yeah,
Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly said on Thursday that Russia would look to face severe sanctions if it makes further moves against the Ukraine. Joly was speaking from Brussels after getting together with her counterpart in the European Union, and after traveling to Ukraine and France earlier this week as Russia masses over 100,000 troops at the Ukraine border, provoking fears of war with Europe. Canada has already put forth a lengthy series of sanctions related to Russia dating back to 2014, when its military forcibly annexed Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Putin's thinking and what he's.
I can tell you right now, he wants attention and he's playing a game, and that's the way Putin is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Do you know that he kept the Pope of the Catholic Church waiting for 4 hours? This guy likes attention on himself.
Yeah.
And I'm not. He's
Very Trumpish.
He's a very powerful man. I'm not saying he's not. He's president of Russia, but. He even, and I don't blame him for this, he left Donald Trump waiting for an hour, President of the United States. He likes to show that he has power, and leaving, can you imagine leaving the Pope for 4 hours waiting for you? But it's a serious problem.
Guy's got some big cotton balls.
Yeah. He's also a tough fellow, too. He's a KGB guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy that you see in the movies. You know what I mean? He used to do that. So, but I think basically, I hope I'm right, is I think he's bringing attention to himself. I think he's playing a game with the world.
Almost like the North Korean goofball Kim Jong-il or whatever.
Yeah, the guy with the haircut.
The fruit bowl haircut.
Do you ever go on YouTube and look at different cities and drive around places you're never going to go?
You were showing me that the other day. Yeah.
I drove around Pyongyang in North Korea. Do you know there's not a Timmy's on any corner? Not a Timmy's
What do
anywhere.
they do?
I don't
How
know
do they
what
survive?
They don't have any coffee or donuts, these poor people. But and they turn their lights out at night. Did you know that?
Oh, that's.
But the Russian thing, I think, I hope it blows over. Well, let's hope so. I mean, if it doesn't, we're all in trouble. But
It's going to be nasty if it doesn't get settled out. That's for sure.
I just think, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. It's just my own opinion. I think he's bringing attention to himself and away from COVID. At least it's getting us away from COVID anyway.
Talking about it, that's for damn sure.
We've got COVID going on now. We've got this. I've never seen the world in such a mess.
No.
Well, World War II, I guess, or World War I, but
As much as we use the internet, I blame the internet.
yeah, because it's a smaller world now, and when you get that,
Everybody's in everybody's business. Everybody knows everything.
yeah.
One more story here.
How's your fries, by the way?
Oh, they're fantastic, man. They're Appalachian fries, man. Try them.
Better get in there.
I'm just going to have one. I'll just have one. Yeah, okay. Thank you. very
Florida man has been charged with human smuggling after bodies of 4 people, including a baby, were located in Manitoba close to the Canadian-U.S. border. According to the U.S. State's Attorney's Office for the District of Minnesota, 47-year-old Steve Shand was arrested Wednesday by U.S. Border Patrol for smuggling undocumented foreign nationals. The charges against him have not been proven in court, but it looks pretty cut and dry to me. You know, for the most part, you're caught smuggling people. You're caught smuggling people. It's-
Well, the sad thing is the baby.
Cheers,
Baby.
Manny. Yeah,
Cheers, Manny.
dynamite. Thank you.
Oh,
Okay, guys.
All right.
See you next Friday.
All
We'll
right.
figure that out before Friday.
there we go.
On Facebook, I'll communicate with you and figure it
There's the
out.
boss right there.
Yep.
That's Manny. All right, buddy. Have fun with your supper.
What's that?
Manny's leaving with a giant food tray here.
Leave no family.
Oh, thank you, sir. All right. So.
So
what
yeah, you know, like I said, it's interesting to see these people smuggling. I heard that there were also more people involved in this story, trying to get across the Canadian border into the U.S.
How did the baby end up there?
But yeah, like
That's really heartbreaking.
yeah, very much so. Very,
All
very
right,
much so.
Novak Djokovic, you know him.
Oh
of course.
yes,
Or
the whole,
Djokovic,
the whole
yeah.
tennis thing going on.
He left Australia last Sunday evening after losing his final effort to stay away from deportation and play in the Australian Open, despite being unvaccinated for COVID-19. A court earlier unanimously, of course, dismissed the number 1 ranked tennis star's challenge to cancel his visa. And Djokovic is a 34-year-old, of course, was to be a great tennis player, probably the best in the world. Mentioned he was extremely disappointed by the ruling, but respected it. And
What else can you do, really?
it's just a difficult situation, and it's a sad situation, really. But a masked Djokovic was photographed in a Melbourne airport along with 2 government officials in black uniforms. The men from Black came to get him in Australia and take him out, and you're going home, buddy, and that's it. And he left on an Emirates flight to Dubai, apparently. That's where he flew from,
Right.
to go there. So he's making a statement. They're making a statement. What do you think?
The other thing was too.
What do you think?
I try not to in those cases.
Nah.
The other thing was if he fought it again and ended up getting deported, he couldn't go back there for 3 years.
Yeah. It's sad.
Once you're deported, you're booted for 3
And
years. So
the tennis world needs Australia, and he needs
Yeah.
to play in Australia if he's going to be competitive.
5-time Australian Open champion, I
Yeah,
believe.
exactly.
So yeah, definitely
All right. Well,
taking out on these fries.
I'm just digging into my coffee here. We're at the Appalachian, by the way, in Georgetown, Ontario, Canada. The little room that rocks. Enjoying my wonderful Tammy coffee. Oh, that's delicious. You're really digging into them, aren't you? You're not going to leave any for me, are you?
Freshly made.
I know. The
No,
fries.
I know.
The fries are excellent, by the way.
I needed the
attest
carbs,
for
man.
that. What's going on?
Needed the carbohydrates.
Well, the indoor dining is coming back in Ontario at the
Yeah.
end of the month, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
And usually, as Ontario goes, so does the rest of the country.
But again, we still got 10 days to go through that. So, could they come back and change that on us and say, oh, no, we're not going to do it now? And you know what I mean? We talked about this before, restaurants that had all this food in their fridges and stuff like that, and then they shut them down.
Yeah.
Well, they got all this food that they were, because they were at 50% capacity. So that's a lot of money, and hopefully.
The world of sports. The world of sports. Let's have a look, see what happened with the Canadian teams this last week. Mike Matheson led the way as the red-hot Pittsburgh Penguins keep on
they're
winning this
getting really
time,
hot.
disposing of the Ottawa Senators 7-4 this last week. The Predators, they won again. They beat Winnipeg. Sergei Bobrovsky had a shutout. Alexander Barkov led the way.
Bobrovsky.
6-0 over the Edmonton Oilers last night, and they're in a shit show. They're really in trouble. They're like 7 games in a row now.
Started out with a bang and really just went.
2 weeks ago they were up in the top echelons of the division. Now they're below Vancouver, and Seattle's looking up their rear end. You know what I mean? So they're in a bit of trouble there. Vegas, of course, they hung on to beat Montreal 4-3 in overtime in the desert. Rangers broke the hearts of many Leaf fans midweek. In Gotham City with a 6-3 victory over Toronto in a game that was closer than the scoreline score. The Leafs didn't play bad that night.
No.
They could have played better, but they didn't play 6-3. They got an empty netter on us.
Well, they were up 3-1.
Yeah, I know. Memories of Montreal.
Yes.
Vancouver Canucks, they won a pair in a row on the road. They downed the Predators 3-1 in the land of the Grand Ole Opry. And Christian Dvorak scored a pair. Canadians dumped Dallas. I'm going through the Canadian teams this week. The Flames, they cooled off the hottest team in the league. They took out Florida the night before Edmonton pounded them, or before they pounded Edmonton. Battle of the bottom feeders. Buffalo defeated Ottawa. Ottawa's not doing well.
No, they're struggling big time this year.
And of course we have the Coyotes. They chewed up the Canadians this week. The Canucks, they beat Washington 4-2, so there's one of their 2 wins. And of course the Raptors lost a couple to Miami and Detroit this last week.
Well, it's always funny,
but they're not playing badly.
Vancouver and Edmonton have kind of flipped playing, standings and status and stuff. And
Bruce Boudreau's a big help in Vancouver.
Being the new coach too, the team seems to always,
I think the best team in Canada right now is the Leafs, I think.
Hey, we're up
followed
at the top.
by Calgary, maybe.
We're up at the top of the standings, and if you look at the goaltending statistics that we have the number 1 goaltender in the NHL.
You got to remember, this is a national show, babe. When you say we, you're talking about me and you.
Me and you. We do.
Leaf Nation.
Love Soup and what he's doing for the Leafs right now, and it's definitely a Leaf fan. But I love all my Canadian teams. Don't get me wrong.
When the Leafs are out of it, I cheer for every Canadian team, even Montreal.
Any Canadian team. I was really fortunate. 2006. When Tampa Bay beat the Calgary Flames in Game 6 in Tampa, I was there. And I paid $25 US for my ticket to get into a Game 6 Stanley Cup game.
That's not too bad.
That was in Tampa Bay? In Tampa Bay, and the place was so empty. Well, it wasn't empty, but there were enough seats that I could move. The guy moved me down closer to the rink.
Do you know that my buddy Pat Porter, who I work with, he works at Giant FM.
Yeah.
I worked with him for years, and he was telling me that his brother is the MC for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Right.
His older
job
brother.
I always wanted to do.
Oh, so he is kind of like the Bruce Barker of the United States. He's a big MC guy.
Yeah. One job I've always wanted to do. My big booming voice, it would work. So,
yes, it would. Yeah, your big booming voice. Yeah. And plus, you could be Scooby Doo over the mic too. But the Leafs are doing well, and I'd say they're the best team. Montreal,
Montreal and Ottawa. Ottawa. And Ottawa, they've got a lot of really good players on their team, so I don't understand how they're sucking so bad.
In the NHL, you let your guard down, anybody will kick your ass.
Yeah.
Look what happened with the Leafs in Arizona.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. My brother lives in Ottawa, and he is a Leaf fan, but since he's been living there for so long, he's really kind of become a Sens fan, right? And his buddy's got seasons tickets and stuff, so we banter back and forth a little bit about it. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's all in good fun.
So there's our sports look, and you know it's been a bad week for Canadian teams. The Leafs are doing okay, but the other teams are not doing well.
No.
Edmonton, Ottawa,
Calgary's kind of up and
Calgary's
down
up
like
and
a
down.
yo-yo.
You never know what Flames team is going to show up.
No.
But you know, once Goudreau gets a bee in his bonnet, look
No,
out.
like I said, you know, it's a good change for them, and it's working. So, congrats, way to go, guys.
Winnipeg, they're just kind of lame ducks too. They're just
Yeah.
they've lost a few.
Well, that's another week of our, national update here on Air Radio News. Big Daddy Russ Horton, myself, Leah Lakin, Leah
I gotta remind
Lywood.
them about the shows.
Yeah, we want to remind you about all of our awesome stations that we have. We have FM108.ca, a great oldie station.
50s, 60s, 70s.
50s, 60s, 70s stuff. Basically a regurgitation of what we had back in the 80s, you know, and
All
glad
the
to have
original DJs from
all your
FM108
original
are-
DJs that are still with
like
us,
me.
that are still with us on this planet Earth.
Thanks for saying that.
You know,
I'm starting to feel old.
you are.
Radio GTA, of
Yeah.
course, our freeform station. Bill Smith, the new music mix every weekend on Halton Hills Saturday and Sunday nights, and on GTA Saturday and Sunday afternoons. The Canadian Indie Country Countdown. These are counted down from number 100 to number 1 every Saturday morning from 6 a.m. to noon.
Great tunes. Great tunes.
Oh,
man. And I'm not a
stuff-
country guy. So.
You know, and it really, our radio stations, although we're worldwide stations, we promote our Canadian music. Just like we do with our local radio, we promote our local musicians. And it's all about music, because can you imagine a world without music? Wouldn't be a very nice place, would it? All right, let's finish these French fries off and get out of here.
Yeah, we once again we're here at the Appalachian like we do every single week, and enjoying some French fries and some fun and laughter and some news with all of you. Once again, thank you for joining us. You can check out the Appalachian online. You can also call them if you're local at 905-877-9888. Get your takeout food today. Big Daddy Russ Horton, Leah Lakin, Leah Lywood want to say thank you for tuning in. Have yourselves a great week, and we'll catch you next week on the B-side.
See you later, Canada.